The person who keeps living in your mind loves you. This is not random, and it is not imagination. When one person appears in your thoughts again and again, not once in a while, not just during quiet moments, but constantly, even when you are busy with life, even when you try to distract yourself or move on, this message is meant for you. You did not choose to think about them. Your heart did not invite these thoughts. Your mind did not ask for their presence. They simply showed up quietly and deeply, without warning. And here is the truth most people are afraid to say out loud. The person who keeps returning to your mind loves you deeply, silently, and far more than they allow themselves to admit. Their feelings are real, even if their actions confuse you. So why is there distance between you? Why does silence sit where words should be? Why does there feel like a painful gap that makes you question everything? Why does it feel unfinished, unresolved, and heavy in your chest? There are 3 powerful reasons for this distance. And when you finally hear them, you may feel shocked, but at the same time, you may feel a strange sense of relief. Because suddenly, things will start to make sense in a way they never did before. The first reason is that they love you more than they know how to handle. Some people do not run away from love because they do not feel it. They run because they feel it too strongly. This person never expected to fall this deeply. They did not plan for your presence to affect them the way it did. You touched parts of them that had been asleep for a long time. Your words stayed with them long after conversations ended. Your energy shifted something inside them that they were not prepared to face. And that scared them more than they will ever admit. When love feels intense, it does not only bring warmth, it brings exposure. It reveals wounds they never healed, fears they avoided for years, and insecurities they tried very hard to hide. Loving you made them see themselves clearly, and they were not ready for that reflection. So instead of stepping closer, they stepped back. Not because they do not care, but because they care too deeply. Distance became their shield. Silence became their way of surviving emotions they did not know how to process. The second reason is that they are fighting a battle you cannot see. While you sit there wondering why they pulled away, questioning what you did wrong, or blaming yourself for the distance, they are fighting silent wars inside their own mind. They think about you more than you realize. Late at night, when the world is quiet, you cross their thoughts. They replay conversations over and over, wondering what they should have said differently. They imagine reaching out, sending a message, or hearing your voice again. But every time they come close to acting, something stops them. Maybe it is pressure from life. Maybe it is responsibility weighing on their shoulders. Maybe it is fear of hurting you. Maybe it is fear of losing themselves. Maybe it is the belief that they are not ready or not enough. They do not want to come into your life half broken. They do not want to bring confusion, instability, or emotional chaos into your world. So they choose silence instead of mixed signals. What looks like distance from the outside is actually protection, both for you and for them. The third reason is that they believe the timing is not right. They feel the connection, but they question the moment. They wonder if circumstances would ruin what feels pure. They worry that meeting you at the wrong time would damage something that feels rare. So they wait, they hold back, they tell themselves that someday, maybe later, things will align. And even though this belief keeps them away, it does not erase their feelings. It only buries them deeper. That is why they appear in your mind without permission. That is why your thoughts circle back to them when you least expect it. Energy does not disappear. Love does not vanish just because words stop. When two people are emotionally connected, distance does not break the bond. It only makes it quieter. Your thoughts are not betraying you. They are reflecting a connection that still exists beneath the silence. This does not mean you should wait forever or pause your life. It does not mean you should chase or beg for clarity. It simply means that what you felt was real, and what they felt was real too, even if fear, timing, and inner struggles created space between you. Sometimes love does not end. Sometimes it just stands still, waiting for courage, healing, and the right moment to breathe again. They are coming back aware, and this is where what you do matters the most, more than anything you have done before. When they return, the energy you hold will decide everything. Do not rush the moment, even if your heart feels full or nervous or hopeful. Do not overwhelm them with questions that demand answers too quickly. Do not push for explanations the moment they show up again. Do not reopen old wounds immediately, even if those wounds still ache inside you. This is not the time to relive the past in detail. This is the time to allow the present to breathe. What matters now is calmness. What matters now is emotional stability. Be steady in how you speak. Be gentle in how you respond. Be present without pressure, without expectations, without fear controlling your reactions. Let them feel safe enough to stay without worrying that every word will be judged or used against them. Safety is what allows honesty to remain instead of running away again. When someone returns after distance, they are already carrying guilt, fear, and vulnerability. They are already questioning whether they are welcome or whether they will be pushed away again. If they sense tension, urgency, or emotional pressure, they may retreat even if they still care deeply. That is why your calm matters more than your words. Your grounded presence communicates more than explanations ever could. Silence, when peaceful, creates trust. Patience creates space for truth. You do not need to convince them of your value. You do not need to remind them of what you gave or what you sacrificed. You do not need to prove your worth again. They already know. They learned through absence what presence meant. They felt the weight of losing you. They experienced the emptiness created by your distance. That understanding did not come easily to them. It came through loneliness, reflection, and regret. Your role now is not to chase clarity or demand certainty. Your role is to allow truth to show itself naturally. Let them speak when they are ready. Let their actions match their words over time. Trust consistency more than promises. Watch how they show up, not how emotional they sound in a single moment. Real awareness shows itself slowly, not dramatically. If fear tries to rise inside you, remind yourself that you survived the silence. You survived not knowing. You survived the absence. You became stronger during the waiting. That strength is what protects you now. You are no longer standing in need. You are standing in choice. And that changes everything. This reason surprises most people when they finally understand it. They love you, but they truly believe that right now they are not the version of themselves that you deserve. In their mind, they feel unfinished. They feel incomplete. They feel like they still have work to do within themselves. They want to be stronger emotionally, more stable in life, and more secure in who they are. So instead of holding your hand while feeling uncertain and lost, they chose to step back, not because they stopped caring, but because they believe stepping back is the only way to become better. For them, distance is not abandonment. Distance is preparation. They tell themselves that if they ever return to you, they must return correctly. Not confused, not broken, not unsure. They want to come back with clarity and confidence, not fear and hesitation. This is why the connection never completely breaks. This is why, even after time passes, you still feel them. This is why your heart recognizes their presence without hearing their voice or seeing their name. This is why their energy still reaches you. When two people are deeply emotionally connected, distance does not erase the bond. Silence does not cancel it. Energy does not understand separation. Love does not disappear just because time moves forward. That is why you think of them suddenly, without any logical reason. That is why waves of emotion hit you when nothing around you has changed. That is why something inside you feels unfinished, like a story that stopped mid-sentence. Your hearts are still communicating, just not through words. They speak through memory, feeling, intuition, and emotion. What you need to do now is important. Do not chase them. Do not force answers from silence. Do not question your worth or blame yourself for what is happening. Instead, stay calm. Stay grounded in who you are. Stay open, but not desperate. If the connection is real, distance will not destroy it. In fact, it will strengthen it. Sometimes love needs space so it can learn how to return in the right way, with maturity instead of fear. The final message of this part is simple but powerful. The person in your mind loves you, not loudly, not perfectly, but genuinely. Their distance is not rejection. It is fear, healing, and timing working together. And when the moment is right, what feels silent now will finally speak. Now understand this as the truth continues. The person in your mind loves you, but there are things they are hiding from you. If you are still thinking about them after everything that happened, this is not coincidence. Some connections do not truly end. They pause. And this person has not let you go, even if it looks that way on the surface. On the outside, they pretend to be fine. They smile in front of others. They act busy with life. They fill their days with distractions so they do not have to sit with their thoughts. They appear strong and unaffected. But when they are alone, when the noise fades, your name appears in their mind without warning. They think of moments they shared with you. They replay memories they never talked about. They compare everyone they meet to you, and no one measures up. They try to convince themselves that they have moved on, but deep inside, something still pulls them back to you. You are the standard their heart remembers, and no matter how far they go, that truth follows them quietly, waiting for the moment they are finally brave enough to face it. You do not need to convince them of your value. You do not need to remind them of what you have given, what you have done, or how much you have cared. You do not need to explain yourself or justify every action. They already know. Deep inside, they have felt it all. They have felt your presence, your patience, your understanding, your love, and your strength, even in silence. They have watched you carry yourself with dignity when they were gone. They have seen you survive absence, overcome uncertainty, and continue shining even when the connection seemed fragile. That understanding is not something they can ignore. They may not voice it immediately, and they may not act as if they remember, but the truth is etched in their heart. The distance, the silence, and the waiting have already taught them lessons that words could not. They have been forced to see the impact you had on their life. They have been forced to acknowledge what it felt like when you were not there. They have been forced to recognize what they took for granted. Absence is a mirror that reflects truth without embellishment, and they have looked into it. They have felt the weight of your absence, the void of your energy, and the quiet longing that comes from realizing that something meaningful was missing. That lesson is embedded in their mind. It cannot be erased by pride, fear, or stubbornness. Now, when they return, it is no longer about proving who you are or what you are worth. It is about allowing the space for honesty and connection to unfold naturally. The energy you carry will speak louder than words. If you approach them with pressure, with anxiety, or with a desperate need for reassurance, it will push them away again. But if you remain calm, steady, and present, it will create the environment they need to stay. They need to feel, without fear, that this time the connection is safe. They need to feel that coming close does not mean losing control, being judged, or risking rejection. That sense of safety allows vulnerability to exist, and without vulnerability, truth cannot enter. The return of someone who loves you after distance is delicate. It is not a dramatic announcement or a perfectly timed confession. It is slow, it is subtle, it is measured. They will be watching your energy, reading your patience, feeling the steadiness in your presence. Every gesture, every tone, every calm reaction communicates far more than words ever could. Your ability to remain composed, to hold your dignity, to act from a place of grounded understanding, shows them that this connection is different than before. It is not about winning or losing. It is about mutual recognition, mutual respect, and mutual willingness to try again with more awareness. You have already grown in ways they may not fully realize yet. Your growth during the silence has changed the dynamic between you. Your patience has become a shield that protects both your heart and theirs. Your healing has become a light they can follow without fear. Your strength has created a space where they can return without shame. That growth is the quiet proof of your worth. It is not something you must explain. It is something they will feel instinctively when they reconnect. Even if they come back confused, hesitant, or guarded, your calm and grounded presence will guide the connection toward clarity. Your energy will tell them more than any speech ever could. They will feel the difference between a heart that waits in fear and a heart that waits in understanding. Your understanding, your presence, and your patience are the invisible hands that pull the story toward honesty and love. Remember, this is not about forcing the outcome. It is not about controlling their feelings or actions. It is about embodying the truth of who you are and allowing the connection to respond naturally. Love, when mature, does not need to be chased. It responds to alignment, to energy, to authenticity. By remaining grounded, by maintaining your strength, by honoring your own journey, you are creating the conditions for love to return fully and honestly. And even if they do not return in the way you hope, you have already won. You have already grown beyond the need to validate yourself through another's actions. You have already become someone who does not collapse in silence, who does not break in absence, who does not lose their sense of self while waiting. That growth cannot be undone. That wisdom cannot be taken away. It transforms your life, your connections, and your understanding of love itself. So as they return, remember this: you do not need to chase. You do not need to convince. You do not need to over-explain. Be present, be steady, be calm. Allow them to see, feel, and experience the truth of who you are without pressure. Let the connection unfold naturally in its own time, guided by the strength and clarity you have gained during the separation. What has been built quietly during absence cannot be ignored, and what is nurtured with patience and understanding will always have the chance to grow into something deeper, stronger, and more lasting than before. What they never show anyone is how deeply they miss the version of themselves they were when you were close. Being with you made them feel understood in a way they rarely experienced before. You saw them, not just on the surface, but underneath. And once someone feels truly seen like that, they can never forget it. That feeling stays with them, even when they try to move forward. Their silence is not coldness, and it is not indifference. It is control. Here is a truth that surprises many people. They remain silent on purpose, not because they do not want to talk to you, but because they are afraid of what will happen if they do. They know that one honest conversation could pull them back completely. They understand that if they hear your voice again, see your name on their screen, or feel your warmth even briefly, the walls they built will fall. All the control they worked so hard to maintain would disappear, so silence becomes their last defense. They are also afraid that you may have moved on. This part is painful, but it is real. They ask themselves questions they never voice out loud. Do you still think of them? Did they miss their chance? What if they come back and discover it is already too late? This fear keeps them stuck in place. They do not want to appear weak. They do not want to expose their emotions. And most of all, they do not want to risk rejection. So they wait, frozen between wanting you and protecting themselves. For them, distance feels safer than truth. But here is the part that cannot be ignored. The bond between you is still active. You feel it. You become emotional without a clear reason. Their memory shows up randomly during your day. You sense something unfinished, like a chapter that never truly closed. That is because emotional bonds do not disconnect easily. When love remains unresolved, it continues to whisper beneath the surface. Even when there is no contact, the connection still exists. Even if they do not message you, they notice you in quiet ways. They check your presence without being obvious. They pay attention from a distance. Even when they say nothing, they feel you. Silence does not stop emotion. It only hides it. So why does this separation exist right now? Sometimes distance is not punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. Life pulls people apart to test what is real and what can survive without constant reassurance. If this connection is meant to continue, it will return stronger, clearer, and more honest than before. But that only happens if both hearts grow during the space. So instead of chasing answers or trying to decode every sign, understand what this means for you. Do not wait in pain. Do not put your life on pause. Do not shrink yourself hoping to be chosen. Grow, heal, rise, become calm and rooted in who you are. Because here is another truth many people do not expect. The stronger and more grounded you become, the more they feel drawn back to you. Love does not respond to pressure or force. Love responds to alignment. The final words of this part are simple. They love you, they miss you, and they are confused. And one day, when fear finally gets tired of winning, love will speak. Fear can only stay in control for so long. Eventually, the heart becomes louder than doubt. Until that moment arrives, trust the silence. It is not empty, even though it feels quiet. It is full of unspoken emotions, unfinished thoughts, and feelings that have nowhere else to go. Silence is not absence. It is restraint. The person in your mind loves you, and the distance you feel now will turn into a message you never expected. If you have made it this far, it means your heart already understands something your mind keeps questioning. Distance does not mean the story has ended. Sometimes distance means the story is about to shift into something new, something deeper, something more honest. What is happening right now is hidden beneath the silence. Behind the calm surface, they are reaching a breaking point. The phase of pretending is slowly ending. They are tired of acting strong, tired of acting unaffected, tired of carrying emotions alone without relief. Holding everything inside is exhausting, and they are beginning to feel the weight of it. Your absence forced them to feel everything they tried to avoid for so long. When you were close, they could distract themselves. Now there is no escape. Every quiet moment brings your memory back. Every pause reminds them of what they pushed away. And here is the truth that matters most. The longer the silence lasts, the louder your presence becomes in their mind. At some point, silence becomes heavier than speaking. Holding back becomes more painful than reaching out. The effort it takes to stay quiet starts to drain them. That moment, the moment when fear loosens its grip, is closer than it seems. And when it arrives, what has been unsaid will finally demand to be heard. Why does this happen this way? Because the message will come unexpectedly. They will not plan it for days. They will not rehearse it in their mind until it sounds perfect. It will arrive suddenly, often after a quiet night, after a memory surfaces, after a dream they did not expect, or after a moment when emotional exhaustion finally breaks their resistance. It may look simple on the surface, something small like, "Hey, how are you?" But behind those words will live everything they never said, all the feelings they buried, all the moments they replayed in silence. Love rarely returns loudly or dramatically. It returns humbly, softly, and without confidence. When they finally speak, they will not say everything at once. Do not expect a long confession or perfectly chosen words. Instead, listen closely to what is said between the lines. You will hear regret hiding behind casual sentences. You will feel care disguised as simple curiosity. You will sense love hidden inside concern. They may admit they were scared. They may admit they did not know how to stay. They may admit that losing you felt much heavier than they ever expected it would. This conversation will not be perfect. It may feel awkward. It may feel emotional, but it will be real, and that is what matters. This is also why the separation was necessary, even though it hurt. Here is a truth that may shock you when you fully understand it. If this reconnection had happened earlier, it would not have lasted. The timing was not right before. Distance taught them lessons that closeness could not. Loss taught them the value of what they had. Silence taught them honesty about their feelings. Space forced growth where comfort could not. Now they are not coming back confused or uncertain. They are coming back aware. They are coming back knowing what you meant to them. They are coming back understanding what it felt like to live without your presence. And when love returns with awareness instead of fear, it does not arrive to repeat the past. It arrives to build something stronger, clearer, and more honest than before. They are coming back aware, and this is where what you do matters the most. When they return, do not rush the moment. Do not overwhelm them with questions. Do not demand explanations immediately. Do not reopen old wounds the second the door opens again. What matters now is calmness. What matters now is stability. Be steady in your energy. Be present without pressure. Let them feel safe enough to stay without fear of being judged or attacked. Safety is what allows honesty to remain instead of running away again. You do not need to convince them of your value. You do not need to prove anything. They already know what you mean to them. They felt the loss. They felt the absence. They learned through distance what words could not teach. Your role is not to chase clarity, but to allow truth to show itself naturally. But here is the most important truth of all. Whether they return fully or not, you still win. You win because you did not beg. You did not collapse. You did not abandon yourself to keep someone else. You chose growth over desperation. You chose healing over chasing. And that growth changed the outcome, whether in love or in life. Sometimes, the purpose of a connection is not only reunion. Sometimes it is transformation. Sometimes a person enters your life not to stay forever, but to awaken something within you that changes who you become. And that change stays with you long after the connection shifts. So remember this final message. The person in your mind loves you. Their distance was never the ending. It was the pause before honesty. And no matter what happens next, you will meet it stronger, wiser, and ready for what comes. Welcome to Psychology Fact. If you are curious about the hidden truths of the mind and the heart, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a fact that could change the way you see love, connection, and yourself.